For today's review, we're taking a rather large step back into the realm of the mid-90s, 1996 to be exact. The year that saw the release of classic video game titles like Warcraft 2 Beyond the Dark Portal, Quake, Tomb Raider, The Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, Civilization 2 and Diablo saw the release of yet another title that doesn't get as much laurels as it should. Maybe it's because of its single-letter title or due to the fact that real-time strategy games hadn't yet gotten as popular as they will later be. Either way, today I'm taking a quick look at Zed. In Zed, you command and control an army of robots to fight a differently colored army of robots in a real-time strategy environment. But describing the game in these terms, while accurate, doesn't do it real justice, since a lot of its appeal at the time, as well as now, also stemmed from its charm. The gameplay is nothing special by today's standards when we play similar if not more advanced games on our mobile devices, but for 1996 standards, this red vs blue precursor was quite the achievement. Keep in mind that the only other main real-time strategy title of the time was the original Command & Conquer, and compared to that, Zed offers a rather different approach to real-time strategy gaming, a considerably more complex and tactics-minded one. Instead of busying yourself with resource gathering, creating troops and then tank rushing the enemy, Zed sets you and the enemy in your own separate forts and sprinkles a bunch of vehicles, turrets and unit creating buildings across the map. Commandeering these turrets and buildings is done by conquering as much ground as possible. You do this by sending your robots to capture the flags that dot each map. Each flag has a certain amount of surface area of influence it provides. Once you have control of the flag, you also gain control of whatever else is located within its influence border. There will be a few other features to mention here, but that's the general gist of things. The rest is made up by the game's charm. I love it how the hillbilly robots in the cutscenes, who are under your command, have an actual tape deck in their spaceship. And the devs were pretty big on cutscenes, so we're treated to one before and after each mission. You'll get to see Brad and Alan quite a bit. The music that the game sports is expectedly digital, but I can't shake the feeling of a late 80s, early 90s cop show from it. Fun stuff all around.
Unit reporting. Territory taken.
Then of course there's the different types of robots you can build, each of them featuring their own funny lines with a very specific twang in their voices. The game has a pretty nice learning curve, starting with both parts being equally matched and symmetrically positioned, to then bump up the difficulty by giving the AI certain advantages, thus making it a requirement to approach the mission from a much more tactical standpoint as opposed to the more tank rushy approach. Scrolling around the map is going to take a bit of getting used to, since the now conventional WASD controls to move around the map wasn't a thing back then. Instead, clicking on the regions of the minimap will do the trick. Zed has benefited from a very active community of fans that have been maintaining the game long past the official end of support date, making it run on newer systems, digging through code for unused assets, and there was one project called the Zod engine. Oh, not that one. This is an open source remake of the original game engine. You can find out more about Zed by checking out the ZedZone site and forums. And that's about it for this quick blast from the past episode. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. Please like and share the video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and check out the rest of my channel for many other game and movie reviews. I make videos every week and I'm quite active on Twitter and Facebook, so don't hesitate to drop me a line there. I've been Stefanonsense and you'll hear me soon.